The Strabane Canal was constructed and opened for traffic in the early 1790s, which encouraged industrial and commercial developments in the Strabane region and its surrounding areas. It linked the River Foyle with the centre of Strabane. From the 1850s onwards, and with increased competition from the railways and then road improvements, the canal lost commercial traffic and finally closed in 1962. Following its closure, much of the canal was filled in apart from a 1 mile stretch from Crampsley's Lock in the River Foyle inland to Devine's Lock. The Riverlinks project has regenerated this remaining part of the canal for recreational use by means of upgrading the towpath and footbridge, provision of a car park and toilets, canoe access, a bird hide and passing places on the park road.
I suppose the background to the canal is that it was first excavated back in the 1790s and had been functioning as a connection from Strabane to the Foyle and to the maritime trading routes for about 150 years before it closed. But with the arrival in the railways in the 1850s, the canal has been languishing. So for the last 150 years it's been sitting here as an untapped and underutilised resource. In recent times we've looked at some of the resources within the district that have been untapped, such as the canal, and have been looking at ways which can maximise their use for the people of the district and bring it back into use. Because as you've seen around the rest of the country, the reopening of canals for both people who want to canoe and kayak in the canal and those who want to walk along the towpaths has really taken off. I think the reopening of the canal has been driven by the local community, particularly in Ballinagorry and in Strabane, which are the two closest communities to it here. It's going to be, the towpath's going to be reopened for walking, and that's going to be the principal use for local people. The reopening of the waterway itself will allow people to train, I suppose, in very safe, shallow waters for kayaking, for canoeing, which is something which we don't really have in this area, which is a great shame when you consider the great waterways that we do have, the Foyle just across the embankment there. So it gives a great opportunity for recreational use in a way that we've never seen before. We've been very keen to work with the Environment Agency from the start, and they have been advising the project from the beginning, especially in relation to the large otter population that exists along the banks of the canal and the Glenmornan River. So we have sought to ensure that there's no disruption to any of that wildlife, and I think that's seen in the way that the project plans have been amended to suit the otter population on site. We were looking to, hopefully we're going to have about 1,750 canoe users in the first year, and hopefully maybe 4,500 local pedestrians on the towpath. I think those figures were on line to exceed those in the first year, so I'm delighted that the community have got involved in the project, have got behind the project, and are keen to see the project reach its maximum potential. I suppose from the perspective of Strabane and Donegal County Councils, we're very grateful to SEUPB for the support they've given us to undertake the works on the canal, because without them it wouldn't have been possible. And their remit is to reopen areas that have been impacted negatively by the border, and this certainly will add to the regeneration and revitalisation of this border area.